What's up, scorers? Welcome back to the channel. Before we start, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to keep boosting the channel up. We want to keep giving you great content, but we need your help. So make sure you share, like, subscribe. Now, as you all know, this is not only an Elite Mindset brand, it's a basketball brand too. We like to talk hoops. It's like a gentleman's club. It's like a barbershop. It's like a cigar bar. Let's talk some hoops. Today's topic is who's the best six man ever? Let's not say the best six man ever. Let's say who is the best player to revolutionize the six man role and change the game. And I'm all welcome to all opinions, comments, so make sure y'all share it with me. But listen, remember, this is my opinion. Now, when I think about six man, I think of a lot of names. Think of names like Bobby Jackson, Ben Gordon, Lamar Odom, Mike Miller, Eric Gordon, all phenomenal players. But they didn't revolutionize the position of the six man. They didn't change the game coming from the six man spot. Now, first person I got in mind that did when he was in the league, I looked forward for him getting in the game. And that's Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili was an amazing player. He played about 16 years in the NBA, 4 rings. One of the things I liked about him is basketball IQ. He was one of the guys who could give you anything between 12 to 21 points a game, just depending on the night. And he could swat a bat. But Manu Ginobili did not change the game. He didn't make people want to be a six man. He didn't, at least in my opinion. Maybe he made you want to be a six man, but for me, after seeing Manu Ginobili come off the bench, I didn't say to myself, you know what, I wouldn't mind playing six man. The next guy I would think that kind of did it for me was J.R. Smith. Now, I got a different thing for J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, obviously amazing player. My first time seeing J.R. Smith was out Adidas big time tournament way back when. He was the first player I saw that made me feel like, you know what, I'm not going to the league. He's a guy who came straight out of high school. Was supposed to go to North Carolina, but came straight out of high school. 6'6" guard, can shoot, can jump. Played for the Tim Thomas Players. Amazing athlete, as you all know. Played for the Denver Nuggets. Had a pivotal role with that team. But his biggest role as a six-man was with the New York Knicks, where he averaged 18 points coming off the bench. If you go back to one of our interviews with my guy, Chris Cope, shout out Chris Cope, man. He told us J.R. Smith was one of the best one-on-one players he's ever seen in his life, and I believe him.
People ask me who's the toughest player I ever had to guard. Everybody thinks I'm gonna go like KD or something like that. I always say J.R. Smith. The one-on-ones we used to have, bro, like there were times where I felt helpless, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
The things he was doing coming off the bench for the Knicks was amazing. Like I said, averaged 18 points. That was probably one of the Knicks' best years during that time. But J.R. Smith did not make you say, damn, he's a six man. He can go somewhere else and play and still be a superstar. No offense to J.R. Smith. Like I said, great player, amazing skill set, but he's not my top guy. The next guy I have in mind, I think everyone's going to say he's the number one. And rightfully so. I think he deserved to be number one on many lists because of the things he did coming off the bench. And I'm a fan of his simply because he played with my hometown, the 76ers. Shout out my guy, Lou Williams. Lou Williams is an amazing player. He gave us, back when, when I was a little younger and I couldn't gain weight, he gave us some hope. He made us feel like anybody, under 170 can still make the league and go ahead and get some buckets. Lou Will won the six-man 3 times. 2 of those times he came off the bench for the Clippers and averaged over 22 points, I believe, which is amazing. Not a lot of players can play in the league and come off the bench, score 22 points, 23 points. This is a tough one for me because, in my opinion, he made the six-man role attractive. He made people feel, you know what, I wouldn't mind being a Lou Will. Then he had songs after him. Lou Will definitely revolutionized that position, but he didn't do it better than the person I have in mind. In my opinion. Remember, this is my opinion. The next guy I got a shout out, Jamal Crawford. For most teams he played for, he dropped 50. You talking about for the Warriors, the Bulls, the Blazers, the Suns, elite scorer, another guy who wasn't physically dominant, but he gonna get you a bucket. Played really well for the Clippers, played really well. He played well for every team. I was introduced to Jamal Crawford when he played with the Chicago Bulls, and he dropped 50. And I was like, yo, who is this guy? And I started to follow him, started to see, keep up with his games. And I ain't gonna lie, he had me in high school wearing some S dots. Them things were soft. Could have broke your ankles, but I was riding with my man Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford, just like Lou Will, won the Six-Man Award 3 times. So shout out to Jamal Crawford. But he's not the end all be all. Don't get me wrong, another guy who made the role attractive, but I got somebody else in mind. And the guy I have in mind came in the league, was a sixth man for 3 years. He won it once. But there's a reason why he won it once. He came off the bench for OKC. You got it right. James Harden. James Harden was so good, he got traded to another team. They couldn't make him a sixth man. He became a franchise player. And that's why I consider him one of the six men who changed the game. Not only did he become the franchise player, that double step back y'all doing, that triple step back y'all doing, James Harden. He's the only person to be a six man and win the MVP and lead the league in scoring at one point. James Harden changed the game coming off the bench. James Harden is like, don't you know how, if real hoopers know this, when you play for a coach that don't see your skills and then you go somewhere else, he was that. He was that proof that, look, bro, I should never be coming off the bench. And he's been so good all these years that he's a franchise player everywhere he goes. Can't put him on the bench. Jamal Crawford, great player, but he can come off the bench for some of the teams. Lou Will, great player, but he can come off the bench for some teams. J.R. Smith, great player, but not the franchise player. James Harden came off the bench. They was like, look, bro, you too good. You got to go somewhere at your own team. And that's why I give James Harden the best six man ever. He changed the game. He revolutionized the skill set that we have today. He's been the MVP, leading scorer. Only thing he haven't done is won the ring. But that's a team effort. But we're going to give it to James Harden. Shout out to James Harden for changing the game with all the skills and the step backs, etc. And there you have it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys, I want to hear it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Make sure y'all guys like it. Share it to your friends because I want to hear y'all opinion. I could be off. But until next time, let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society.